Betsy, and today we have a fun video. We are going to be testing out the new Nars Climax palette. Now this is a limited edition eyeshadow palette. I purchased mine from Ulta and I decided to go ahead and get it because Ulta had like their diamond and platinum reward days and I got 10 times points on this. So for $49 I got 490 points. So that's like getting a really big discount off of it. And the coloring was actually kind of cute. I decided this because it is a fall palette that I love. The outside packaging is adorable. And then when you open her up, she looks like this. Tell me that does not scream fall. My bangs are driving me nuts in case you're wondering. But as you can see, it's 9 shadows, and this again retails for $49. I have the colors pulled up on my other screen so that way I can tell you because they are on the back side, but that doesn't always, like, I hate swapping back and forth. I don't know about y'all. So first up we have Open Wide because you know it's Nars. That is a really pretty color and a really soft. Then we have Private Show. Then next up is one of the metallics, which this one is called Passion Play. That is a nice metallic. See, it does have a nice bit of reflectiveness, so I do like that. Then we have Envious. There we go. These aren't bad shades. I mean, they feel really nice at this point. And the metallics are nice and shiny, but they're, I mean, so far nothing super crazy. Then we have Hooked, which is, this is probably one of my more favorite shades. See that mossy green? Then we have Next Level. There we go. Then we have Up in Smoke. That is a beautiful green matte. And then we have Public Eye. These are performing well. And then last but not least is Night Rhythm. So that is the whole color scheme. So as you can see, there's 4 metallics, one that's kind of like more almost a metallic satin, and then 4 mattes. So, I mean, metallic satin, or more of like a satiny shade, I guess is the best way to say it. But I love this fall kind of color scheme. And 9 and 12 pan palettes are some of my favorites. And I know even though like I am a lover of indie, not everybody does. And this is a palette I think a lot of people could get use out of, because not everybody wants the crazy sparkles like I do, and not everybody wants the crazy colors like I do. Like, this is a good way to play with color without it being too much. So let's go ahead and grab a big old brush to blend out some color on our eyeballs. This is the Lunar Beauty LB1, and we're gonna go into Open Wide, that first nude shade, and we're gonna apply that all over the lid. Now I have taken and primed my eyes with the MAC paint pot in Soft Ochre because I'm trying to use that up. But yeah, that's what we're doing. And I'm just bringing that from lash line all the way up to brow bone, because it's a good nude color just to kind of play with. Now I'm gonna go into this more pinky pinky tone called Private Show. That does give a lot of dimension actually. That has more pigment than I thought it would, which is a good thing, a very good thing. I do like how it's performing. But even though I typically don't like most NARS powder products, this seems to be performing well. I think it's more blushes that I'm not the biggest fan, especially when they're in palettes. Perfect, 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 perfect. Okie dokie. So next I'm gonna grab, this is one of the Beetlejuice brushes from Melt, and this is, what number is this? Can I read what it says? This is the 830. And I'm gonna go into that murky green shade, and we're going to apply that. Ooh, I love that shade. This is a grungy color story that I absolutely love. And I think that this is a grungy color story that a lot of people could get behind, because it's grungy, but it's not, and it's fall leaning, but it's not super dramatic. Like, you're getting those fall tones, but it's something you can kind of play with and build on. But yeah, I mean, these are performing the way that I want them to. The mattes are layering beautifully, which is always a plus. Okay, now I need something even smaller because I need to apply the deepest shade in here. Now I don't know if I'll be able to use like all the mattes, but I mean all the shimmers, but we'll see what we can do. Okay, so I'm gonna grab, this is Public Eye, and I'm just going to apply that, and this is on the E33 by Sigma, which is a crease brush. It is the Detail Diffused crease. And I'm just keeping that to really kind of grunge out the outside. Okay. Which I think I'll probably get to use most of the colors, other than I think that blue tone, because I'm really not in the mood for blues today. So I think we'll be able to use most of them. Okay, I love how this is looking so far. So, NYX Glitter Glue. I use this all the time. You know, if you watch me, that I use this all the freaking time. It is a great glitter glue, and it is inexpensive, because even though I have expensive glitter glues, why would I spend more than I need to? You know what I'm saying? Like, just because you can afford like to use Pat McGrath or whoever doesn't mean you need to. You know, I'm of the old frame of mind that if I can get the same results for cheaper, I will do the same results for cheaper. Other than, you know, because I'm always testing things. But we're gonna go in first to that bronzy brown shade, and I'm just going to tap that one on to the outer eyelid, like that back half, and then I'm gonna wipe that off again, and we're gonna go into, so that bronzy shade was Next Level. We're gonna go into Hooked, which is that green. And we're going to apply that over the main part of the lid. That is such a pretty color. I love a good grungy green, but y'all know this. I mean, that's not anything that I have hidden. So, I mean, this is kind of like a sleeper palette. I didn't see really much about it, and I probably would have ignored it, but I was on Ulta's website and I was like, that's actually kind of cute. I'm gonna use this shimmer, which is Envious, and we're going to apply that just to the front to add in some brightness. And I'm using the same brush, I just wiped it off. I have a makeup wipe right here. There we go. Oh yeah. And see, whenever you layer your shimmers like this, where you kind of go from one to the other, it does almost fake a multi-chrome look, because it looks different in the different ways you turn your head. So I'm gonna go in with my finger over the center just to make sure it's the most metallic that I can have it. But yeah, other than that, I think it looks pretty darn good. I'm gonna take my melt brush that had Up in Smoke on it and go over the edges. But there we go for the top of the eyes. I'm gonna go off camera, do the rest of my face. We'll come back and do the lower lash line, and then talk about my thoughts on the palette. So I'm back and I have the rest of my face on. I used my Danessa Myricks Lightwork palette, and I used Easy Breezy as my highlight. I used the NARS Claudette blush and well, both of them are blush. Mix those two together. And then for bronzer, I used a mixture of Deja Brew and You're Grounded from Beauty Bakery as my bronzer today. And then for waterline, I used Sunnyvale by ColourPop. On my lips, I have Get It On by Nars. These, the Power Matte Pigments, this is one of my favorite liquid lipstick formulas of all time. I own 2 other colors in this. And part of the thing is I love the wand on this. One, you see how perfect that is for putting on liquid lipstick, and it stays on and it's super thin. So if you haven't tried, like, you can see how thin that consistency is. It's not thick in the least little bit. And that is one of my favorite, if not, well, that is my favorite NARS product, honestly. But yeah, I mean, and I've had good luck with NARS foundations and NARS concealers. It's just their blushes and palettes haven't always been my favorite. But again, that is personal preference. So let's go ahead and do our under eyes. I am loving this eye look. I didn't put on lashes today. Wasn't in the mood to, but you know, it is what it is. So I'm gonna take, this is the Spectrum B11, and I'm gonna go into that green, I forget what it's called, Up in Smoke. And I'm going to apply that all under my eye. Now again, I didn't take and use this shade, and I'm not going to today. Not because it's a bad shade, but because it just doesn't go with the look that I am wanting to achieve today. And I think 8 out of 9 shadows kind of gives me a good idea of what I'm doing with this. And I do love the way that these shadows are performing. Like, I can't complain any about that. Like, I think that they're performing the way that you want shadows to perform. I think that it looks beautiful. And now I'm gonna go into the lightest, which is Passion Play, that lightest shimmer. And this is a BK Beauty 204. BK Beauty has some amazing brushes. And we're gonna use that as our inner corner highlight today. But I love that this is a little bit cool toned. I love how grungy this palette is. I am actually surprisingly happy that I picked it up. Because, you know, sometimes when you go to pick up mainstream, you're like, oh, am I going to love this? But I mean, I get that also whenever I'm buying indie as well. You know, I've gotten good and bad things from a lot of brands, and this is actually really, really good. Shockingly enough. But yeah, this is the finished look. What do you think? I think it's gorgeous. I'm happy I purchased this. So if you are looking for a palette, you might want to look at picking this one up. It is $49. I would recommend, because I know Sephora sales coming up, you can do, like, if you haven't bought anything from NARS directly, you can sign up to get 15% off your purchase. So I would buy it on sale, because everything eventually goes on sale. But other than that, I mean, I think it's a great palette, and I think it performed beautifully. So if you like this video, don't forget to give it 2 thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button right down below. And if you hit the notification bell icon next to it, that will notify you when I post new videos, which is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, with tons of bonus content thrown in, because, you know, we are busy, busy bees, and there's always new stuff, and there's going to be even more new stuff. But yeah, I guess that's it. So we'll see y'all later. Bye.